Hey, Bumblebees team, it's V. Most of you might already know me, so I am Bodhi's mum, and I also happen to be married to Gareth, who's presenting for you this evening. So I'm really sorry I couldn't be there to join you guys. I'm looking after my collection of children, and hopefully can jump in on the next one. So I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes talking about self-care. This is a space that I've worked on really in the last 10 years, paid a lot more attention to than perhaps I did prior to. I didn't quite understand the context around self-care. So first and foremost, it's not being selfish. When you take self-care, you are not being selfish. And I think that's something really important to remember, and for you guys, you're working with children your entire day. You're giving a lot, you're giving a lot of your energy, your personal space, and emotions as well. So, being able to reset and practice self-care in your life is actually going to be really important for you guys. Some of you might already practice self-care, and you notice that I'm using the word practice because it doesn't always come naturally, and it hasn't always come naturally for me. So it's something that I've really had to almost schedule into my day, particularly at the moment. Caden's with me. He's decided that he's not sleeping today. But here he is. So, as I was saying, with the practice of self-care, for me, self-care and how I practice it has changed throughout my life. Particularly now, it's a different context. Having 3 kids and having one so little as well. So, self-care can be different and will be different for all of you. My experience with self-care is it's often something that I don't always naturally want to do. Which, for example, going to the gym, that is something that I love doing. It's very natural for me, and it is something that I have always kind of done in my life. So that is actually part of my routine and part of my day-to-day life, or has been, and I'm getting back into it. So what self-care is for me is things like being quiet, or going for a walk, or actually practicing things that require me to slow down and tune in with myself a little bit more. I'm required to tune in with my thoughts. Being, for example, going for a walk instead of actually going and doing, a high energy gym workout is actually going to be more of a self-care method for me rather than, going to the gym. So back to my earlier point, some of you, might not like going to the gym or don't want to go to the gym. Even just doing any sort of exercise might be a new form of self-care for you as well. Something I did last year when I was pregnant with Caden was lots of yoga. And before that, I couldn't even stand doing yoga. I couldn't stand to sit still and, be present with myself. And I really adopted that practice last year, and it really helped me, just to reset and ground myself, in the day and in my life. So yeah, self-care, it's an individual thing for everyone. You might actually have to schedule it in. I definitely do at the moment. And, your level of self-care will vary from time to time. And, I guess it's one of those things, it's not necessarily sitting in front of the TV and zoning out, which is what I do a lot. I love to watch movies. You can ask Gareth that. But it might be writing an inventory or writing a gratitude list. So that's just going to lead me straight into these little bags that we have prepared. Ava and I prepared these for you. So in your bag, you're going to have your Wellme water. So Gareth's already touched on hydration. You can see actually on the label, I don't know if you can see there, but you can see in your own ones. We've written a note there, 2 liters before 2 p.m. So my trick with drinking water is you always need to drink more than you think you need to drink. So when I drink water, I will drink double the amount I think that I need. Okay, and that's probably going to set you on the right track for how much you have during a day. And unfortunately, if you forget to drink water during the day and you decide to drink it all at night, doesn't quite work the same. You need to try and balance out your water intake throughout the week. It's going to be more beneficial for your mental clarity, helps with your nutrition, and just makes you feel better all around. Gareth can get into the science of stuff, or already has. What else is in your pack is your little wellness cards. So everyone will probably have a different message. So that's just a little message for you that, perhaps you can keep in your gratitude book, or you guys could keep them up in your breakout room, your non-contact. I know you guys have, and it's just asking yourself, do I get enough breaks? So you guys are working, full on, during the day, and like, what are you making the most out of those breaks when you are having time to yourself? Now this is a daily gratitude notebook. So gratitude, us giving you these notebooks are not us saying that you are not grateful people at all. So how gratitude works for me is that it helps to combat negative thinking. So I have a tendency to worry about things, and to perhaps allow negative thoughts to have more power in my life than I wish them to have. So for me, when I use gratitude or practice gratitude, again, it's another practice. It helps me realign my thinking and remember all the amazing things that I have in my life and amazing people, and to give thanks to those things. And, the best time for me is actually to do it just before I go to bed. So I'm going to bed and I've already just filled my mind with all this positive thinking, and acknowledgement of what I have. And, that's a really powerful thing to do before you go to sleep. I can easily keep myself awake. Not really at the moment, but I have been able to keep myself awake often worrying about things. And I find that writing a gratitude list is really a great way to counteract this. Or, write it keep it at work and write it during the day in your non-contact time. And it's just about taking a little bit of time just to, acknowledge all the amazing things in your life. And it's just a really healthy practice to start adopting. So those are yours to do as you please. And then we basically have a soap. So this is not to tell you guys that you need to shower or anything weird like that. This is about, for me, I am a really sensory person. So this is going to tie in the whole self-care thing as well. So for me at the moment, I'm not getting a lot of free time. Yep. Okay. So my real self-care time is in between the time that I might be working or watching TV and then between going to bed. So I always have a shower. That is like my time. And I actually use that as a self-care time at the moment because I'm not really getting much other self-care time. So for me, getting into the shower, having a really nice hot shower, and using a really nice soap really helps me wind down, and kind of calm myself down if I'm feeling a little bit stressed or anxious or tired. And so for me, a real sensory thing is smell as well. So I love to have a lovely smelling soap as well that I use. I'm praying that the baby's not crying, or I make sure I tell Gareth that I'm having a shower so he can grab the baby in case he wakes up. So, there's a couple of things that I do in between, closing down, I guess, for the day, which is, having my nice hot shower, using my soap. If you have a bath, that would be amazing as well to do. And then I've actually committed to writing my gratitude list for the last 30 days before I go to sleep. I've had to write it during the day sometimes because I pretty much have just passed out, just with, tiredness and fatigue at the moment. But that's all just the season that I am in at the moment. So I've almost talked for 10 minutes. I know Gareth's been talking for almost an hour, but we're just really excited to be able to pass you guys on some tips. Just, how to I guess, get the most out of yourself. We all know how wonderful you are with what you're doing with all the kids, and our Bodhi, and then soon eventually Caden. So yeah, it's just really awesome for us to come and share some of our knowledge with what we do on a day-to-day basis in our personal lives, as well, like, within our business. So thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you guys around soon. Enjoy your bits and pieces and your gratitude books. Okay.